All right. Getting everything all set up this morning to make sure that you keep the stress level low and your brain energy high. Those things are super important, and we don't want our bodies to get stiff. We want to keep them moving. It really improves every aspect of life, including our mood, including our digestion, including our anxiety and how we feel about things. And of course, our physical bodies should feel flexible and movable and not painful. So today's workout is called 4 on the Floor because that's where we're starting. I'm not going to promise it's where we're going to stay because I tend to elaborate. And this is great for beginners. Think about yourself. So hang out on your carpet or grab a mat or whatever. You can do this with some family members just to kind of get moving. The birds are saying good morning in Austin this morning. Okay, so we're going to come down, we're going to roll down, we're going to walk out to all fours and then roll back up. So it's sort of a modified inchworm. Start nice and tall. Remember that in the last workout, we start with ABCs. We always start with ABCs. Align in, drawing down through the back part of the spine. This whole area is holding you together. Don't forget that's always holding you together. Here, breathing into your lungs, exhaling, get nice, big breaths into your lungs, exhaling, but never letting this go. This is always holding you up in the end. And here we go. So when you start, you press up through the back of the head, you roll down, starting with your neck, shoulders, middle back, lower back, all the way down, soften the knees, then hands come down, walk out to an all fours position, double check your hands. That means they go right under your shoulders, not under your face, and then start pushing back. Push back onto your heels, walk the hands toward the feet. Take a breath here, roll your body up. Soften the knees, hands come down to all fours, hang out here. Check those hands one more time. Check that your knees are also underneath your hips, and check that we're not losing the lower back. So ABC still apply here. You've got your head, ear, shoulder, ribs, and hips all in one line. And you want to be sort of lifting that belly up in the end always, which helps lift that lower back. So we want a nice, healthy, long lower back and a nice, engaged core to keep us strong through our center. It does everything for us. It holds our organs in, it holds our posture up, and aesthetically, it's just much nicer to have that feeling of the core muscles holding us together. Okay, so from here, we're going to do some isometric presses back onto our feet. So I've got my toes down onto the floor. Take a breath, exhale, and push onto your feet without moving. And when you breathe, release it. So you're not going to see me move a whole lot. All I'm doing is pushing my weight back. And this helps with core engagement, getting the whole body active, even in a still space. Breathe. Exhale, press back. And if you want to elevate it, on your next one, you're going to lift the knees slightly. If you're not ready to lift your knees, then don't. Breathe. Exhale, press back. Optional knee lift, just an inch off the floor. Inhale as you set them down and breathe. Exhale to lift. Press back into your feet. Inhale to set it down. Exhale to press. And start easing your weight back onto your heels. And then lift your hiney up to the sky. So in our last workout, we did a little bit of a downward facing dog. Knees are probably still bent this morning. Don't worry about straightening them or shoving back onto your heels, but I don't want you way up here. I want your hip bones way up in the sky and back over your heels, over your feet. Maybe take a moment, pedal those heels out so that you can get your legs a little bit closer to straight. Neck is long, shoulders away from our ears. And we're going to roll ourselves back onto our knees from here. Take a breath. Exhale, start to roll your spine. Come up over the hands and ease those knees down. Take a breath. Exhale, roll yourself back and up. Back and downward facing dog. Take a breath. Exhale, roll your body back down. Exhale and roll it back. And if you're feeling it, you can keep the knees lifted. Don't quite touch the floor. Exhale, roll back down. Really pull that navel up and in. Take a breath. Exhale, roll back up. And roll back down. Exhale. Knees come back down for a moment. We're going to play with our limbs now. So we've got 2 arms and 2 legs for the most part. Use whatever you've got. We're going to start with arms. Lift one arm. And notice that when you lift your arm, that's the flexibility of your shoulder. So you don't want to lift your arm until you lose your lower back. See what happened there? That's my spinal flexion. That's no longer shoulder flexibility. So keep my back nice and long. Arm is lifted to the level of its flexibility. And then I'm doing little circles with that arm. Now we're going to loosen up the shoulder, but also want you to be really aware of what your hips are doing. Because if your hips are wagging, then I want you to stabilize those like you're carrying somebody on your hips. Now circle the other way. And reach through that arm and then set it down. Same thing on the other side. So it comes up, not past the point of flexibility, just to its point. Turn the thumb up. We've got little circles here. Control the body. The circles are coming from your shoulder joint. And then set it down. Okay, now we start with legs. I want you to bring one leg back behind you. Make sure that your hips are still facing the same way, that you haven't turned onto your side. So hips are still facing the same way. Lift that back foot a little bit, maybe point your toe if you need to. And again, we haven't turned to the side. That hip is down, little circles. Now control what the rest of your body is doing. So your shoulders aren't moving, your back's not moving, it's just from the hip, and then circle the other way. Find a breath that works for you. Little quick circles, and then hold and reach through that leg, and then set it down. Stabilize yourself, press back through the other leg. Find your hip stability, your back stability, lift that leg a little bit, control your hips, lift out of your shoulder joint, and here we go. Little circles. You have to turn that brain on and try to get circles instead of weird shapes. Mine are doing weird shapes today. That tells me a lot. Then go the other way. Find a breath that works for you. Open your knees a little bit and ease your body closer to the floor. This is our little child's pose. You can move your child's pose around. You can eke yourself closer to the floor. Maybe open those shoulders a little more. Breathe. Remember that your belly is still pulling up and in. That's just always going to be true. So you're not pressing your belly into the floor. You're pulling it away from the floor and your legs. Okay, so let's come back up here. And let's do a little bit of bird dog. So you might have practiced bird dog before. I just want you to be really aware of what your back and what your hips are doing, because a lot of times we'll lift and start to lose that lower back, and then we'll start wagging our tail. So keep the lower back lifted, keep the hips squared. Keep the stability in the leg that stays on the ground. That's your stable point. All right, opposite arm, opposite leg, reaches out, breathe. Exhale under your body. Stay on that side, breathe. Exhale under your body. So it's just stabilize your muscles right now. Nice and strong for that leg. 2, 1. And hold them out. So remember those little circles? Here we go, both at the same time. Circle. And then go the other way. How are we doing on that? It's like a little bit of coordination, rubbing the belly and tapping the head. For 3, 2, 1. My leg did weird things, especially when I started counting. All right, back to our all fours position. I'm going to do the other side, just extending and under the body first. Breathe and extend. Exhale under. Nice and long through the arm and the leg, and then just under the body. Stabilize our muscles, working hard. Back is not shifting and changing, just stabilizing. And we're going to hold this one out. And here come those little circles. Choose a direction. Woo! Hello. Try to stabilize your body. Pull the belly up and in. Reach with that arm. Reach with that leg. For 3, 2, 1. Reach them out and set them down. Okay, so now we're going to add an angle to our bird dog. And I'll show you from this direction so you can kind of see what I'm doing. Your opposite arm, opposite leg is going to go out and away from your body. And then it's going to angle out from the center. And then come back in. and then set it down, do the other side. So again, the leg that's on the floor, side, control it, control it, control it. Transverse abdominis and obliques are helping you stabilize and maintain the center of your body, opening that shoulder and hip a little bit. Wherever you are is fine. Your tempo is fine. Don't worry about my tempo. Do you. But wherever you are, do one more. And release it down. Okay, so if you're tired of being on your wrist now, we're going to come down to the elbows. If you would rather be on your wrist, you can be. When you come down to your elbows, though, I want your sight to be in between your hands. Okay, so not here and not here, but right here. Sight is in between your hands. Neck stays nice and long, and look at my forearms. They are parallel to each other. They're not here. This is not shoulder healthy. So keep the forearms parallel, shoulders down back and away from the ears. And we're still up on the knees. We're going to do a little extra hip work because I love doing hip work. Knees are underneath the hips. We're going to take one leg, bring it back. And we're going to do these little arcs. So you're going to lift that leg, cross the opposite leg, and then go out to the side. Cross the opposite leg and go out to the side. Now, if you look this exercise up on Pinterest or Instagram, you're going to see all kinds of like crazy height, hips doing wild things. But if you look closely, you'll notice that they're breaking the lower back. We don't break the lower back, and we definitely don't want to tweak our lower back today. So keep the lower back long and the belly pulling up. If you stabilize to that area of the body and then you're working the hips from side to side, you're really going to start working the actual hip muscles. Gluteus medius, gluteus maximus, all that good stuff. Now I'm going to have you float it in the air. So just float that same leg, cross and open. Again, stabilize, stabilize, stabilize through your back and through your tummy muscles. And don't lose that stability even though we're working hard in that glute. And don't allow yourself to come over onto the stabilizing hip too far. Okay, so make sure that your knee and your hip are in line with each other, that you haven't buckled and falling over to the side. How are we doing so far? We can do these for a while, right? 3. Gaze is in between your hands. Knees are underneath your hips. Take the other leg, put it straight back first, then lift it, and then cross and over. Find the breath that works for you. Put your mind's eye at your belly button. What is it doing right now? It should be lifting up and in. Back is nice and long. Hips are strong. Finding a tempo, finding a space, finding a size that works for you today. 3, 2, 1. Lift it up and float it right in the center and then go across and out. Now you'll know that you're rocking side to side if your hands and arms start rocking side to side doing funny things. Stabilize, stabilize, lift out of the shoulders, pull the tummy up and in, stay strong in those hips, don't buckle on the supporting leg, nice and strong. For 3, 2, 1, breathe. And now, if you know me, you know that I've been struggling with my left shoulder, and push-ups are still really, really iffy for me, especially narrow grip. I don't want to ignore narrow grip for you, though, and so we're going to practice a little bit of carnival ride today. Just know that I have to be wider in my carnival ride than I usually recommend for people who don't, not out to the side. If you're struggling with that, it's because your shoulders are here. I need you to get your shoulders back and down, stabilized in your shoulder girdle so that you can move your elbows like that. Okay, so starting with your hands right underneath your shoulders and your knees underneath your hips. Go wider if you have a shoulder injury like I'm about to, okay? You're going to bend your elbows. You're going to point towards your legs and squeeze into your ribs. And then you're going to push all the way back onto your heels. So that was the beginner version. You can lengthen your lever at any time. Notice that my back is staying flat, and that's the purpose of doing it this way so that we don't buckle and break the lower back and fall into the shoulder. We're keeping everything in plank style, which means like a board, okay? If you want to, you move those knees back a little bit. If you're here, tuck your belly way up in the end, tuck your tailbone under you more than you think you need to, and then you've got more of a lever to work with. Takes a little more strength and stability in the body. Same idea. And of course, if you feel like coming up onto your toes, you can also do that. I'm not going to demonstrate it, but you bend your elbows and then come back onto your heels. Back up to plank, bend your elbows, and then come back all the way to your heels. Pick the one that's working for you today. Depending upon how your shoulders are feeling, how your back is feeling. Modification does not mean weakness. Modification means doing what's right for my body today. And we got one more in us. Here we go. And come all the way back. Okay, so that was a lot on wrists, a lot on shoulders, a lot on knees, a lot on your back. Let's come up to all fours for a moment and just take a stretch break. Take a breath. Exhale, tuck your chin. Press up in between your shoulders. Begin to round your back. Round that lower back and tuck your tailbone away underneath you. And then as you breathe in, allow the spine to flatten. Press open the front of the shoulders and press out through the top of your head. Exhale to roll the chin under. Press up in between the shoulders. Round the spine, tuck your tailbone. Inhale to flatten everything out. Open the chest, open the top of the shoulders. And exhale to roll back into that cat stretch. So this is a cat stretch, and I want you to stay in cat for a minute. Pull the belly up farther than you think you need to, and then rock it forward and back. Now, if you're having lower back stiffness, you're going to find it here. Not just now, but several times during the day, because that's super important. When your back hurts, everything hurts. Okay, now, I have no idea how long I've been working with you. I've been working with you for a while. I just want to do a couple of things in prone today because I feel like I would be remiss if I didn't. So that means you're going to lay on your belly. You're like, yay, lay on my belly. All right, lay on your belly. Come all the way down. Fold your hands. Put your forehead in your hands. Push your shoulders away from your ears as far as they're willing to go. Tuck your tailbone under you until you feel your belly lift out of the floor. So you've got ABCs in prone position. Top of your head, in line with your ear, in line with your shoulder, in line with your ribs, in line with your hips. The pulling of the belly out of the floor is essential. You never want to push the belly into the floor. That's going to do the opposite of what you want. It's not going to help your lower back. It's going to press your muscles the wrong way. So pulling up and in. And then all I want you to do is lift your elbows. Just lift your elbows and set them down. So I want you to be really, really aware of what your shoulders are doing as you lift and lower those elbows. Shoulders should be pressing away from your ears. So you're trying to get them as far away from your ears as possible while you're doing this little lift, because that is going to help with shoulder flexibility, and it helps with the erector spinae muscle that goes down the sides of your spine. Super valuable muscle that we don't work enough. Now I want you to turn one hand into a fist, and I want you to put your forehead on it. Then I want you to take the other arm out to the side right next to your shoulder. So it's sort of 90 degrees out, making half of a letter T. You're going to be lifting this arm and the opposite leg at the same time back and around to the belly. And the shoulder girdle, right? The shoulder girdle, holding that shoulder where it belongs, super important. So this exercise, even though we're only going to do a few, is so vital for your posture and your back health. For 3, 2, and 1. And then I want you to switch sides. So this is my bad shoulder. My bad shoulder might not lift off the ground today, and that's okay because I'm going to do the best I can. If you're struggling with the shoulder, just stretch it here. All right, so forehead is in the hand. And here we go. Lift and lower. Oh, I can't lift my arm today. Just a little bit. Not a lot. Still working on range of motion on that guy. Like injuries like that teach me to be a better teacher, you know? So lifting, pressing out through the end of your toe to get length in the leg without too much height. For 3, more narrow. We're going to lift both legs and press out through the ends of the toes, and you're just going to do little kicks, little kicks. Pressing out through the ends of the toes, pulling the belly up and in, strong and long through the legs, keeping the body stable. We're just paddling along. And if your lower back is like, that's too much. 3, 2, 1. Hold them, stretch them out, and then set them down. Okay, let's stretch a little bit. Swing your arms around behind you. I'm going to do a little lotus pose here. So lifting the upper body, pressing back through the hands, and lift the lower body as well. Press back through the toes. What's the rule about the belly? It's pulling up and in. So reach through the arms and the legs, and then set it all the way back down. Come up onto hands and knees for a moment. Going back into cat and cow stretch. I never want to ignore that lower back after we work it so hard. So we're just stretching. Cat, open the chest. Good cat stretch in there. Move this around if you feel like you need to. Do extra flexion or extension if you need to. The extension is here. The flexion is here. Okay. Always stabilize the center of the body. But your spine needs flexibility. It's another area where I really struggle. Spinal flexibility since injury, surgery, recovery. It's tough. Like this is work for me. All right, then stay in a neutral spine. So we're back to ABC. Have a seat. And then we're going to go into pigeon pose. I taught you this the other day, I think. So bring one leg to the front. Swing the other leg behind you. Breathe into both legs. They're both super important. Listen to the birds for a moment. How are the sounds at your house this morning? Do you have nice peaceful sounds? Birds, squirrels. Oh, I love it. Find the position on the other. The birds are wonderful. You can stare at green space while I do pigeon pose. Listen to a pigeon while I do pigeon. Take more time to stretch what you need to stretch. I'm going to take extra time on my shoulder today, obviously. Do you need extra help on a body part? Would you let me know under this video what body part you need extra help with, and we'll work that into our next workout together. As always, if you need a program, contact me. So just doing these workouts is great. It's meant for stress relief and movement, especially while we're home together. But a program sets you up for success for a goal or to recover from something or to set yourself forward in something. So if we need to put you on a program, then let me know. I have a trainer by text program starting on March 30th, 2020. Depends on when you're seeing this, but if you're seeing this on the day I record it, it starts in about 10 days. And that program is 10 weeks long, and it is specific to diastasis recti. So we do the recovery system, then we do full body fitness, and it takes us 10 weeks to get through all of the program materials and workouts. And we also use a nutrition program to help dial in nutrition. While we're here at home together, the best foods, the most natural foods are going to help every system in your body as well. It might be tempting to eat things that aren't the best for you right now. I want you to try your very best, even if you make a mistake, and you eat the wrong food, to then go back and remember that things that come out of the earth are going to be the best for you right now. It's going to help with stress levels and immunity. But this nutrition program really helps people see around how they're eating and see what their plate should look and feel like, and really feel the portion control and just have better control over what's going into their bodies. And if you need something like that, this program is great for you. So I feel like I hit every mark with the Trainer by Text program because we have so many elements. And then I lead you by text message every single day. Day 1, we do this. Day 2, we do this. And it's just so easy to put together and easy to do. And it makes the biggest difference, I think. The feedback that I got the last time I did a Trainer by Text was, you made this so easy. I can't believe what I can do now that I couldn't do a few weeks ago. I lost 5 inches around my waist. I've lost 10 pounds. Or I love this group. Because when I have a group together like that and we're texting each other every day, you might need this right now. It is such a great synergy between people to the point where they're like even recommending like, you know, athletic wear or where to go run or whatever. It's just so, it's such a nice little group, nice little community. So if you need that, that was my little commercial. I really do love it though. Let me know that you're interested in Trainer by Text and let's work out again soon. Let me know how you're doing.